What an interesting day for Montreal Canadiens news. I wanted to go out there and make this video because I thought this was an interesting talking point, and the Canadiens don't have a game right now. So that gives us the breathing room to dive into some of the latest updates with the top prospect in Russia, who is doing his thing and who is kind of being placed on a bit of a pedestal here. A little bit. Kind of. In a way. It's complicated. So today, we're going over Ivan Demidov once again because earlier this morning. Yeah, no, this morning. Montreal time, it was this morning. In Russia, of course, it was a lot later. SKA St. Petersburg played off against HK Sochi, and Ivan Demidov posted up what was his most played game of the year. He had 18 minutes time on ice, and he had 3 points in the process. Just 2 weeks ago, Ivan Demidov was playing in 6-minute, 8-minute, 9-minute games, and all it took was just a few weeks for things to fully get put back up on display. I have no doubt that Kent Hughes visiting SKA St. Petersburg may have influenced Roman Rottenberg, SKA head coach, and his decision-making. Because now Ivan Demidov has been played in 2 straight 15-minute games before getting the 18-minute game today. And in his last 4 games, he has gone out there with 7 points. That is a pretty good number considering the fact that he went, okay, what is this stint right here? From November 2nd all the way to December 17th, he had only 1 point in, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games, and 12 personal games, because he did get scratched for one of these contests. I think it shouldn't be all too surprising here at this point that when Ivan Demidov plays, he gets points. When he doesn't play, he doesn't get points. Crazy how that works, right? But ultimately, the deployment and development of Ivan Demidov this season has been such a roller coaster to watch that I think for a lot of Canadiens fans, just getting some sort of a sense of normalcy here is ultimately a win. Getting 3 straight games of 15-plus minutes and an 18-minute game in there too, that's ultimately a huge dub for many Canadiens fans. And the best part is, if you head over to SKA's VK.com account, and you take a look at the lines, you will see that SKA St. Petersburg actually played Demidov on line 1. Yeah, that's right. He was listed on the graphic here with some other guys. I can't read the names. It's in Russian. But Ivan Demidov got 18 minutes because he was played on the first line, and getting himself a goal and 2 assists in the process definitely makes it easier for anybody to see that he should probably stay on that first line because he's arguably, if not definitely, the most talented player on the team. This is all just hearsay, but I have been seeing some commentary from Russian hockey fans too saying, yeah, I mean, even the SKA St. Petersburg fans themselves are clamoring for Roman Rottenberg to play this guy more. Why is he getting 6 minutes time on ice? Why is he getting 8 minutes? Play him more. Play him more. I mean, take a look at this. From November 13th all the way to December 8th, a month straight, Ivan Demidov was either getting 0 minutes time on ice because he wasn't playing, or he was getting under 10 minutes. That's kind of ridiculous for a guy who could have the potential to being the top guy on the team in points if he was just given that opportunity. I understand that SKA is pretty stacked and they're one of the best teams on paper in the KHL, but still, you consider the point production and the talent you have, there's a reason why Ivan Demidov gets a whole bunch of points when you just play him more. With this in mind, though, I wanted to go over to a post made on the RHAB subreddit that talks about some comments made by Roman Rottenberg in regards to today's contest against Sochi, in regards to Demidov getting first-line minutes, and in regards to Demidov and his, let's just say, reputation. SKA coach Roman Rottenberg today said about Demidov, "I will not praise him, because if you praise him, he will put on a crown." Here's the comments translated into English from matchtv.ru. Ivan Demidov scored 3 points. What can you say about him? We work with Vanya a lot. He's a very hard-working player, and I'm surprised how he works in himself. He has improved many things in psychology and upbringing. Vanya is a player who can be taught, and he has high demands on himself. He does everything I ask of him. I am surprised in a good way, so he deservedly plays on the first line. He has removed many things from children's hockey, the MHL. Demidov can play better. I will not praise him, because if you praise him, he will put on a crown. Today he is great, as is the whole team. the Match TV correspondent reports Rottenberg's words. And with this, I wanted to dive into some of the philosophy here. Because it's interesting to me, this quote that is listed in the title of the Reddit post, "I will not praise Ivan Demidov because if you praise him, he'll put on a crown." There are some people that could get a little bit upset at that, but honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. In fact, I think it's probably maybe even the right way to consider Ivan Demidov and his status as a KHL athlete. Don't go out there praising this teenager so much, because there's a chance that if he gets so much of it, he'll start becoming a little bit full of himself and his play on the ice might suffer as a result. It's kind of a weird backwards thinking thing, but I understand it, especially since, these kids are young guys. You don't want to feed into the egos of anybody, especially in this context where Rottenberg already praised Ivan Demidov. He said, yeah, he does everything I ask of him. He's been getting better. I'm surprised. He deservedly played on the first line. He's been improving all this stuff. But I'm not going to praise him. Oh no, if you praise him, he'll put on the crown. Maybe it's a lost in translation thing. Maybe Rottenberg is talking about the differences between speaking about Demidov into the media, being all goody-goody and saying all these great things, versus actually coaching the guy face-to-face. But either way, it is interesting to note the progression here of Demidov. And honestly, I'm more kind of intrigued with the MHL comment that he made. He's taking away the habits from his children's hockey, MHL play. Because ultimately, we did acknowledge heading into the draft in this previous June period that Demidov was one of the best MHL players we had ever seen as a draft eligible. His production, his engineering, the way he would force himself results on the ice, all of these things were so pristine, and it's why he was a top prospect in general in that draft. And so to hear from Rottenberg that these habits, these things that made him so good, he's got to remove all of them from his game. Maybe I'm just reading into the comment wrong, but I do think that was an interesting thing to go out there and say. A lot of these replies in the Reddit thread as well are all saying pretty similar stuff here, that maybe it's not all too bad that Rottenberg said that he's not going to praise Demidov. Maybe it's just kind of the way that a coach coaches, but at the end of the day, it makes Ivan Demidov's progression a lot better. He is getting better. And if he's able to progress in this situation to the point where he's maybe getting a first-line game every few days or so, if every other game or every third game sees Ivan Demidov get first-line minutes, then okay, I mean, good on him. If he's able to get the points to stay there, then that's ultimately what we want, right? I mean, I think about Vancouver last year. Ilya Mikheyev and Sam Lafferty were first-line wingers, and they stayed there for a while. So when I think about SKA, obviously different league, different circumstances, different situation, but I'm like, yeah, if Demidov played in the first line, please. He had 3 points. Keep him there, Roman Rottenberg. Do it. With this in mind, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Demidov goes back to playing under 5 minutes a night in the next little while here, because, Rottenberg already praised the guy too much. He gave him his dues, and he's not going to play in Russia next year, so might as well throw him down to the bottom of the lineup, right? Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this Ivan Demidov update. The guy has 7 points in his last 4 games. He's been looking pretty good, and he was given first-line minutes earlier tonight, so I think a lot of people should be happy with that. Earlier tonight? No, earlier this morning, because of the time difference in Russia. But anyways, thoughts in the comment section about Ivan Demidov. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.